Hello, everybody, and welcome to the chapter 12 of the Yarny Goodness podcast. My name is Pam, and I will be your host today in my little corner of the internet where I talk about my knitting and my crocheting. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Thank you for picking my special brand of crazy. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and I missed you so much. Let's go ahead and I'm going to tell you guys about my shawl that I'm wearing. As some of you know, I don't know why my lighting is not the best today. That's not it either. Okay. Hopefully it's going to turn out. It's my Uptones shawl. It's a free pattern, hedgehog fibers. And I made it in knit crate yarn. It is a bunch of, this is a black and a purple. It's kind of like a fade. I've shown it in previous episodes. So these are two tones of purple. But it is all knit crate yarn. And it is huge. And it's just huge. So we're just going to leave it on. It's kind of chilly in here today. It's very cold here in Illinois. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the business of why we're all here. And let's look at some finished objects. So back in December, I did a whole, this is what I have on the needles. I want to get it all off of the needles. I didn't manage to do that in December. So the first thing we're going to talk about are my lily socks. And ta-da, they are not blocked. And I need to block them. But I don't have any sock blockers. So it's just going to be kind of a lay them flat kind of deal. I made this out of, and I do not have color names. I might in one of the first episodes I talked about them, but I don't know them now. I know last episode I called this fatigue green. It is not fatigue green. So, but they are both knit crate. I know this top one is like an alpaca. And I forget what the bottom one is. But that's what those are. And then I made the heel holding a purple and this darker green. I'll tell the story again. These are for my granddaughter who is very close to my mother. My mother died a year ago this past October. So I wanted to put a little bit of Jibu in there. And so I used the purple there. I don't know if I didn't do the afterthought sock or heel correctly, but so far I'm not a fan. She is just wanting these to be wearing around the house, so it's not that big of a deal, but I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know at all. But these look wonky as all get out, but they're done and I'm not taking them out. I mean, you saw how much I've only got a little bit of the purple left, so I don't know. So, yeah. But like I said, she just wants to wear them around the house. So, hopefully they'll be perfect for that. It is just a plain vanilla sock. I want to say, because I say this in every episode, she's as skinny as a rail. She's a thin little thing, so these should fit around her little foot and her heel and all that. So there's my lily socks, and I'm so happy to get them off of the needles. Whew, those a labor of love right there. Those things I cast on 4 different times. I mean, that is the 4th time, but yeah. So that's that. Then I showed this in my last episode. It's my hat for my son-in-law. There's a whole story behind it if you go back to episode 10, chapter 10, I think. But made him this hat, and it's out of fisherman's wool. And I blocked it, and it still wasn't blocking out right. I didn't like my crown decreases, and so I took it back. You can even see here where it's blocked and not blocked, because I didn't use the same yarn for the top. But I picked up the stitches right there where the marker is at, and I followed, there was 96 stitches on the needles. So in my Google, I put in, I searched for 96 stitch hat patterns, and I found one by Arnie and Carlos, who talked, and so I did their crown decrease for 96 stitches. So I'll be reblocking this. I don't know, those stitches almost look twisted. I don't know, but I'm hoping that it's just just from the blocked down here and the unblocked up here, and it'll even out when I block it today. So that is a hat for Kevin, my son-in-law. That's a whole nother story, and I believe I told it in the last episode. If not, chapter 11, chapter 10, but I can't remember. Then, oh my goodness, the coup de grace, my crowning achievement. I'm so happy to have off of my needles. And that would be my Skandir mitts, festive mitts. So I did this one, I had off the needles. This was the first one to finish. I had this one in the living room and was being too lazy to come and get it when I finished this one in my bedroom. And I didn't pay attention to the designs on my thumbs. So they're just a little wonky, but who cares? So, but when I finished them last Tuesday, so today is February 1st when I'm filming this. Let me look on my calendar real quick. So I'm filming this on February 1st, and so I finished them last Tuesday, which was Tuesday the 24th. So I finished them and I blocked them, and I was like, size really doesn't matter. And so I took and I grabbed some pant hangers and I hung them up, and I got a ton of water out of them. And I hung them up in my bathroom to dry because it's the smallest room in the house, so it stays the warmest. So I hung them up in there. Well, I didn't think about how the water would stretch the mitts. So when I wore them, and I must have a float that's too long, it catches on my ring. When I wore them, my fingers were way down here. So it was like this on my hands. I could fold all of that down, this whole clue right here. I could fold all of that down like this, and they like flopped around on my fingers like this. I was not liking it. I was not liking it at all. So I came home. I wore them yesterday to work because it was cold. Because it had been nice after we had snow that Wednesday, the 25th, and it was cold, but my mitts, of course, they were still wet, so I didn't get to wear them. So then I wore them yesterday because it was cold, and I couldn't do that. It's hard for me to do the mittens anyways. So when I came home, I reblocked them, and I put them in really hot water with dish soap instead of my wool wash. And then after I got them wet, I kind of did like this with them and did some friction. So they're felted a little bit, so it pulled it, not even just the reblocking them to zhuzh them into a shape. I wanted them even a little bit felted. So I mean, you can still see a little bit of stitch definition in there, but you can definitely tell when you're feeling them that they're a little bit, pardon my nail, it broke. You can definitely feel that they're stiffer than they were before. So I like that. And I might go ahead and felt them up again, just a tiny bit. And then after I did this, did the friction in the hot water, and I got all the water out of them, I did throw them in the dryer for like 10 to 15 minutes and then pulled them out. And I was like checking on them every 5 minutes, putting the wet gloves on my hands, making sure they still fit. So finally, they're done. Now that is what I was making out of the fatigue green, which this is the fatigue green. And I'm not going to try to say that because I butcher it every single time. And it is 100% Peruvian Highland wool in a sport weight. And then the white was in limestone, the same right there, 100% Peruvian wool. These were the exact same knit crate. So when I got my knit crate, I got 2 of these and 2 of these, and then I bought more because I kind of liked it, because I wound up with 4 of each color, I think. So, but that is going to segue into a project that I've got on my whips. Perusing Ravelry, as one does when they have 500 patterns, you have to find more. But I was perusing Ravelry and I found, I don't even know, I will look and I will post a picture of what I found here, because I was bad and I didn't look it up. I'm sorry, I've got something in my throat. I didn't look it up. I don't remember any of the information about it. I'm trying to see if I can get it to pull up really quick. But it made me think of something that I was wanting, and I was like, oh my God, that is exactly what I wanted. And of course, no. Ravelry has signed me out on my phone, so I'll have to do it on the computer. So, but it was just a sleeveless sweater with a collar, and I loved it. And I'm like, I'm gonna modify, because it was a free pattern. I'm like, so I'm drawing inspiration from that, but I'm also taking, and I'm doing this all on my own. I didn't even look at their pattern, because their pattern was just drawings. It was, measure from across your chest and knit, garter stitch. You cast on as many as you need to obtain that gauge, that width, and you knit to the length you need. And you did a rectangle for the front, or longer rectangle for the back, so it was a split hem and it went down farther in the back. And then you picked up around your neck and you didn't pick up around your neck. You did a triangle that was that many stitches and sewed it on and then seamed up the back. And I'm like, I don't like all that. That's too much work for me. So what I did was I came up with something that is this. This is what I have so far. And what I did was I started with my shoulders, and I did like a little saddle shoulder. I cast on, I forget how many, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, I think it was 20, and did like a 1x1 rib across there. Right here. Did a 1x1 rib, and then like I did it for however many rows this was, I don't know. I drew out a square on a piece of paper, and I would lay it down on there, and it measured out to that. So then I did this panel here. I did two shoulder panels, And then I did the across, then I cast on 35 with the backward loop, and then I just knit and garter stitch for I want to say it's from the end here of the shoulder down here was like 7.5 or 8 inches with just a little bit. I stretched it just a little bit because, you know, the garter stretch will stretch a little bit. But then when I put it on, the shoulder wasn't wide enough this way. So when I picked these, because I did a provisional cast on, so when I picked them stitches up, instead of just going straight into casting on the 35 for the front panel between the shoulders, my back, I did another little saddle shoulder part. And it's only, I think this was 20 rows and this was only like 15 rows. I wrote it all down. And of course it's over there. I don't have it. But yeah, I'm in the middle of a row, so it does not want to lay right. But I am going to, before I join, I'm going to throw it over my head and make sure that the 2 pieces will come underneath my arms right. And then I'm going to go all the way down, go the length that I need. And then I think I'm going to put sleeves on this if I have enough, because I have 2 more skeins of the green and 2 more of the white, but I also have a green and a white that is caked up. So I have a total of 3 of each color still. I have this much of the green, but I'm out of white. I might have a small cake in my stash. I'll have to look and see if I do, or if I used it when I did the mittens. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, because it's really not anything like what they had. It was, I don't remember what the name of it was, but I couldn't pronounce it. Not even gonna attempt it. But yeah, so there's this. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with a name though. I was thinking I could release it as a pattern, but I'm like, I'm not doing any size inclusivity. It's my size. If you're my size, then you're fine. If not, you might have to, I don't know, figure it out. I'll give you the general. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So that's whip number 1, and I have 3 more. And so the next one we're going to do is the ever-present Chases cardie, which I'm using the Andrea Mowry Douglas cardie pattern, but this is where we're at. I have started the neck shaping. So here's the pocket. I've started the neck shaping. I've done 2 decreases. I'm getting ready to do, oh no. Oh yeah. Down here at this green one is where I was the last time we came in. And I think I've done 3 decreases. It's this one, and there's the purple one there. So nope, I've only done 3 decreases. So I think I'm about ready to go ahead and start splitting for the 2 side panels and there's nothing much to see here. For the side panels and the back. So I still am on my first ball of it. I'm using the Karen Pound of Love in medium gray. And this is what I've got left of the first ball. I bought 2 for it, so this is what my first ball has gotten me. And there's that. So I'll be getting into the second ball here soon, and that should be more than enough because I'm close to halfway, I would think. This one is going to be my cruise cardigan for our cruise that we're going on. And I'm using the Christy Cardi pattern. If this is a crochet. And this is a paneled sweater, so I'll do, this is maybe halfway done to the first panel. And the panel will, like right here is the shoulder, and then the length here hangs down. And then you do one across your back and then, your arms. So I have not worked on that one at all because I was busy working on them socks, finishing up all my other projects that I had started in December. That one I started, or this cardigan I started in January. So I'm trying to really work hard on all of my previous, get them done so that I have all the fun and shiny. But I'm using this one. This is the one in one of my first episodes. I found this purple. It's a very pale purple. And I had found it and I wanted to make something for my mom out of it, or not for my mom, but in memory of my mom. And I just couldn't find the right pattern that I wanted to use this for. And so that's why I went with my Uptown shawl undertone shawl. That's why I went with this to make and use up I had purples and all of that. So, and let's see, my last one is also something that I have not touched at all since the last episode. I am trying to, again, finish up everything that I had working on in December. This was cast on New Year's Day, and it is my half and half triangle shawl. And like I said, I have not touched this at all. My llama there, that's where I'm doing my wrap and turns. This is a free pattern by Pearl Soho. And I just cast on, I think I cast on like 200 stitches. And it's all in garter stitch. Get you a close-up look there. There we go. And I don't remember, I found my llama came from a shop on Etsy. Along with that Christmas ball that was on Kevin's hat, that came from the same shop on Etsy, and I don't remember the name. So the half and half shawl, I have done that's two skeins. I've got the third one attached, and I have one more right here. So hopefully that is all that I need. I mean, I'll be using less and less yarn because it's getting shorter and shorter. So hopefully I will have enough. If not, I've got another brown in there that I can just throw in at the end and have it be like I don't know, asymmetrical two-tone thing. So and then the other half of the shawl, because it is a huge square that's half one color and half another color usually. So I'm trying to do all one color on one side, and then my other side I'm going to do in this blue and this green together. And I think I want to do some stripes, and everything got all yellow. And I think I'm going to do some stripes. So the green is Conservatory, and it is 100% merino wool, and DK weight. And it is Knitology Wisp by Knit Crate. And this one is Cinderella. And it is superwash. Superwash merino. And then Surrey alpaca. And it's worsted weight, but they're close. So I'm excited. Excited to have that done. I'm super excited to have my mittens done. Oh my gosh. And I think that's everything, guys. There will be no Knowledge is Power segment. And I'm really sorry this is coming up late. I just was in a funk. I've gotten some bad personal family news. I mean, not super, super bad, but very disappointing, very upsetting. I'm going to be heading to Michigan soon. So I just was in a funk. And I was going to record when was I going to? Today's Wednesday. I was gonna record on Friday when I was off, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I've noticed that when I'm not feeling it, I'm just kind of like I ran through everything, and I had the whole thing, everything done in like 10 minutes, and I'm just not satisfied with it like that. So I didn't do it, and I didn't post it. I deleted it all, and I don't know, I wasn't myself. And I'm not feeling myself still, but I really wanted to, because I am going to Michigan. I need to take my stuff to Michigan. Kevin and Lily want their stuff, so I've got to take it with me. And I wanted you guys to see it. And I love my mittens. I love my mittens. They were fun, but I don't go outside and play in the snow. When we get snow. And so I think, and I would do better with like fingerless mitts if I'm going to do something like that, where I cut off like right here and done, this part. I think I'm going to give them to my granddaughter up in Michigan, maybe, or let them have them because they go outside and they play in the snow and all of that. So I might. I don't know. I'll let you know next week what I do with them. But like I said, they were fun. And if I know that they're going to wear them, then I would be very happy to give them to the girls or even Brett up there. So I need to get socks on the needles for Brett. I showed you guys, I didn't bring that yarn out, but I did show you what I'm going to be using for Brett's socks, so I need to get that caked up and get those on the needles, get those going. I won't be able to take them with me this time to give to him, so he'll have to get that in some Happy Mail from his Momo. So I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. And I will see you guys next time. Happy making!